Welcome to my studio. I wanted to kind of walk through my system, what I'm using, and the gear, and kind of how I have it set up here in my room. This is actually one half on this side, and then we have the instruments on the other side, which we'll show you that a little bit later. So my basic setup that I have here is a Pro Tools HD rig, which I'm running on a Creation Station, one of the Sweetwater computers, a PC. For my main interface, I'm using the Omni, which is HD native, is my system, and so that's connected via the HD native, the HD card that's inside the PC to the Omni. And then I have some preamps over here, variety of different ones. I have an LA610, I have a Grace, MPA Gold, which is one of the ARTs, kind of a cool little preamp, a channel strip. Then up on this side, we have, this is kind of the outboard gear. I've got a Chameleon Labs compressor, which is an SSL style bus compressor. It's really actually a really cool piece. And then I have an 11 rack, which is the Pro Tools interface. But really how I use it is as a guitar and bass effects processor. And that's running via SPDIF, so digitally connected to the Omni. So that way I can run things in and out. I can use it to reamp as well, because it does back and forth. Then I have an old Zoom hardware reverb unit, which is actually really cool, and I can use that as a hardware insert. So let's say, for example, I want to track in real time with reverb. I have that capability by using that because it's just kind of a cool hardware reverb unit. Then on the other side, over here, I've got my computers. Down here I have a variety of hard drives, a whole collection of hard drives. And then I have an X32 rack, which is the Behringer digital board. This is connected. I have a router, so I can connect and control this via my iPad. And I use this for a variety of different things, usually more out stuff, like if I'm going to use it in a live setting. I've used it as an interface as well. Used it for rehearsal, works great for that. I have an analog snake rather. Plug that right into that. I have total control. It's routed through my whole system, so that way I can play it inside the room as a live mixer, which is pretty darn cool. So that's over here on this side. On the desk, I have a machine, which is the Native Instruments machine. It's a software hardware controller. And then for a control surface, I'm running the Artist Mix and the Artist Control. And that's these two units here together, the touch screen and the multiple faders. I also have a PreSonus, one of their fader ports, which I actually use that with Studio One, which works great. And then my monitor controller, you can kind of see it back there, it's a Duramer. I love that unit, it works fantastic. It's actually an active electronics controller and monitor switcher. It's got multiple inputs and outputs, it's got a cool little aux input so I can plug my iPad in, kind of use it as a mixer like that, which works really, really well. For my main monitors, I have the JBL LSR 4000 series. These are networked together, and so they control each other. I have a remote so I can control those. Then over on this side is the controller. This is a Yamaha digital piano. I've never plugged the audio in. I always use it as a controller, which works great. So if I'm doing stuff as far as playing or writing stuff where I want to use the keyboard, I have that. Of course, that's all controlling software inside the computer. I have another set of monitors over there. Those are the HS50s, the Yamahas, which work real well as a secondary set of monitors, or if I'm just working on this side, I can have those monitors going over here. So this is my main room. As you walk into my studio, this is the first part that you come into, and this is kind of the instrument room. If I have rehearsals in here, we'll play on this side. I've got the extra monitors over here so I can pump music in this side, and of course that comes from the main room as well. So I've got my instruments here. I've got an acoustic guitar. Don't really play guitar that much, but I have one so I can play a little bit. Bass, I have several basses. That's probably my secondary instrument is bass, and a little bass amp, which works great again for small rehearsals. Percussion, if I want to overdub some percussion stuff or just play some percussion things, I've got a little percussion setup. This is kind of a cool setup that I have here with the electronic kit. I know it looks like an acoustic kit, which it is, but it's set up as an electronic kit. That's all being patched back over to the main studio into the computer and being controlled by that. I also have a drum cat, which a drum cat is a drum pad controller.
It's really just a very sophisticated MIDI controller that you play with sticks. Is kind of the idea. It's really a cool product. So you can do lots of things with that. So I have that over there as well. So this is kind of that main live room. And this was my main studio until I expanded to add the other section to give me kind of more of a actual mixing room over on the other side. So yeah, that's it here at this side of the room.